Hi, welcome to Outside the Gym, a fitness trainer interview series by FitBad. So over here, we call successful trainers from all across the world. So today we have Arnie Liaukus, who is a certified fitness trainer and an international fitness presenter based in Uxbridge. He has over 18 years of experience in the fitness industry, and today he is going to share his fitness journey with us. So without much delay, let's get started. Welcome to Outside the Gym, Annie. We are glad to have you on board with us for today's interview. So, how are you feeling today? How is everything going?
I'm all right. I'm all right, actually. Getting ready, actually, for the client straight after the interview. So, yeah, the timing is always a bit tight, but hey ho, that's how we
Perfect.
live.
Perfect. So, Annie, shall we begin with the interview?
Sorry, say that again.
Shall we begin with the interview?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yes.
Yeah, great. So, first question over to you. So, Annie, how did you start with your fitness journey? Like, what was the first step for you towards embarking on this amazing journey of yours?
Okay, so if it was some time ago, it was back at school. So I was into a track and field. So running, jumping, triple jumps, and I did that for quite a few years. I did quite a few competitions, and it helped me to build the actual frame or to get fitter. And I was competing. You always get coaches coming in to have a look at the competitions to see any potentials. And bodybuilding competition coach came in and he said, like, your body probably will fit the competitions. And I was like, bodybuilding is probably not for me because I'm in track and field now. But I tried, get into the gym, start training, and it kind of grew on me. So I've been training 7 times a week, including the posing, including the nutrition, including everything. So the coach actually provided everything I needed to kind of, make a next step.
Right.
And I started to compete. So I started my bodybuilding competition. But when we say bodybuilding, it wasn't the huge one. So it was classic bodybuilding on men's fitness.
Yeah.
So whereas the aesthetics was very important and a bit more healthier side.
Okay.
So my career in competing was for 5 years.
Wow.
In that 5 years, I have became multiple national champion. We get an opportunity to go to the World's Junior Championship at that time. I think it was held in Czech Republic,
Okay.
and yeah, I came as fourth, which was really good in the world at that time. I was really motivated and ready to go and rock and roll. And then I got invited in the most prestige world championship, which was held in Spain, and that was IFBB, so it's International Fitness Federation, so it's one of the top ones.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, because the level was so high, I came as 14th. So it was really, really sad for me, thinking that I'd been training for 5 years and then I came in pretty much at the bottom. But what actually gave me is to understand that it's not just about winning everything, it's about inspiring others. And this is where my turning point changed, and I became what I started to study as well, in sports, and started to coach people or starting to get people ready for the competitions at the same time, not to make the same mistakes that I made in the past. And it kind of grew in me, really started to look after people and started to coach people, and they were kind of successful in a business. And to be fair, that kind of became, without even knowing or without trying, I became personal trainer who was inspiring everyone, and which turned into business.
Very true. Very inspiring, Arnie. Very inspiring. So, who was your fitness inspiration back then when you started, coaching people and taking clients and all?
Well, I think as everyone, like teenagers in the 80s, 90s, I think we all had these old school gyms and we all had Arnold's all around the
Yeah,
gyms,
right.
Ronnie Coleman then started. So I think it wasn't like an inspiration of the one particular person. It was just how people can do this achievement with their own bodies. So I think those pictures motivated most of the people and to drive through and try to be or as close as to be as, you know, Arnie or Ronnie. But to be fair, I don't really have a specific person to kind of to follow.
Okay, great, great. Annie, so I've seen, like a little bit of your achievements and all. So when you compare, when you talk about sports massage, or when you are into, calisthenics or maybe kettlebells. So what, according to you, has kind of turned around the best for you and your clients? Like which technique exactly worked?
Sorry, Jane, can you just rephrase the question a little bit? Sorry.
Definitely. So for example, if there is, a client of yours who is approaching you for fitness routine or something. So till now, according to your journey and experience, what do you think has worked the best? Is it kettlebells? Is it calisthenics? Is it like dumbbells, or what kind of weight training do you basically, kind of prefer for your clients currently? Because you are like, specialized in all the fields.
Yeah, gotcha, absolutely gotcha. Sorry, I just probably misheard a little bit. So, to be fair, the way I coach people, the way I approach people, it's every single person is different. So you can't apply the same routine or the template to to every single client. So to me, is to find out first of all what's their aspiration, what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to do, and then follow that one. I can actually adjust what they want, whether it's a strength training, whether it's a cardio training, whether it's preparing for competitions, maybe just a technique improvement. And to be fair, if I train people at some certain degree, I said, you know what, I think we may need sports massage to release. I also teach yoga, so it's kind of goes all together. So, we go bodybuilding, and then hold on a second. How about the range of motion? We need to work on your flexibility and mobility. So we go into yoga. So going back into my time when I was preparing bodybuilders for the competition, and bodybuilders, most of people, or the old school, let's take the old school people, they were all limited. They were a bit robust, right? Yeah, it's just like if you need to do double biceps, you only do double biceps, right? And there was no flow. So what I started to do at that point is to train or get my big guys and the big ladies to go into yoga classes. Obviously, I've been abused at that time and laughed at me saying, hold on, I'm lifting weights. Why do I need yoga? But since the time people started to go to yoga or yoga inspired flow, everyone became so fluid. And even the judges in the competitions, they have noticed that when they do the posing routine, they're a bit more not bodybuilding approach people. So they look really, and especially ladies. So I work on ladies. I know it may sound really weird, but I teach ladies how to catwalk.
Yeah.
I don't wear high heels, obviously, but I do kind of know because, I always read the rules, what's the changes, posing routines and everything.
Right.
And my background is dance as well, so I create routines for people to pose. So I think, yes, going back to the original question is really finding the detail, what motivates them, what they want to trying to achieve, and always trying to advise what is better for them. Some people don't really realize what they want up until they try it.
Right. Very true. Very true. Ani, have you ever tried Indian clubs for weight training or something?
Have I tried
Indian clubs.
elite clubs?
Indian clubs.
I really, it's just a bit cracking up. Sorry.
So have you ever tried Indian clubs like the Mudgars, which the Indians used to follow, and a lot of people in the FBI from the US, they also kind of weight train through Indian clubs.
Indian clubs, did you say?
Yeah. Have you heard about them?
Probably not. I would like to know about them a bit more.
Oh wow. So I'll definitely, kind of send you few documents and, few research papers on Indian clubs, because I myself am, following the Indian clubs, because that is more fluid in nature. And you get to,
Okay.
kind of have that mind body coordination also when you are, flowing those clubs. So I'll definitely reach out to you for that. Because
That
that
would
is,
be
yeah.
really interesting because, to be fair, my target market and at the moment my say 70% of my clientele is from the Asian community. So I think
Wow.
that might actually work really for me.
Yeah, that'll be great. We can have, a separate discussion on that, like, some other time. So, Annie, one
Yeah.
more thing, when you talked about weight training, do you think, because I also used to, lift dumbbells in like maybe 8 years ago, but in the past 4 years, I have been more into yoga and Indian clubs. So, do you think that yoga, like doing Surya Namaskars and all, you can actually build muscle by doing, proper yoga? What do you feel?
You can, well, this is what it is. There's loads of things going on about yoga, and I'm sure yogi people will crucify me for this saying it, but yoga does build muscle if it's done correctly. And if you start talking about yoga, how many types of yoga out there is, I mean, it's
Yeah.
phenomenal starting with the meditation, just standing in one position, or yin yoga, you're standing in position for a long time, then you go to yang and ishtangas and all this stuff. I personally teach freestyle fitness yoga, which is a bit more dynamic.
Yeah.
I whack the house music or house chill music, so it's a bit more different. So I'll put all these slides, a bit of a club feeling
Right.
studio, and people's like, I haven't tried this one. So again, it's slightly different, and yes, you can build muscle because you still load your body
Yeah.
muscles with, in the pose, and you start
Right.
moving in dynamic and static, everything. So yes, you can build, and it does definitely improve your flexibility, mobility, and it's just how you feel after.
Yeah, wow, great, great, Annie. So, Annie, like currently, are you taking like more of in-person clients or more of, clients who are kind of based in a remote setup?
So I do prefer face-to-face clients, and I don't think I will ever drop face-to-face clients. I think the lockdown changed most of the people in the approach to the exercises, the approach of how we train at home. And previously it was just a one option, well, two options really. One is to go to the gym, the other one is to train outside.
Yeah.
It's just not many people were training outside, to be fair. So option you go to the gym and you do your business. When lockdown kicked in, I think it changed people's perspective towards the fitness. People build their own gyms at the back of their gardens, and so for me, I also saw this kind of a gap in the market and started to visit people's houses.
Okay.
As because they don't need to go to no longer to the gym, I visit people's houses, conduct the sessions, and then I had my online squad as well, training classes every single day, stretches and all that stuff, just a mindfulness. And started to kind of explore the online side, and hence why I met you guys from the Fitbit, and we started to develop the app, which actually is taking off pretty well.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the clients are building, and my aim is to have the online community going, but I still would like to have face to face.
Yeah. Great, great. Annie, so like before Fitbit, how are you managing your clients in a remote setup?
That's a good one. So if we think about programming and nutrition, everything was the Excel and the PDFs,
Okay.
which I was pretty good at them. So I created the templates myself, which was calculating in every single cell. So if I add, for example, chicken, it automatically comes up with the calculations of macros, calories, and everything. And the programs was easy to use because I had a database where you just click on select exercise, it brings up. So filters and scripts was all over the place. But yes, it was a time consuming. So, what the hours I used to spend on the Excel sheets, PDF prints, and all that stuff was enormous. And for the booking, I used to use the manual booking calendar bookings, like Google Calendar, and then went to the Calendly, I think the website, one of
Right.
those. Which, yeah, it. To be fair, it was a bit nightmare to start with, because you still had different softwares not talking to each other. And about now 3 years ago, I went paperless, so I no longer use any printouts.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of gave myself a pledge that I won't print. So at the beginning, I had my notepad, which was reusable notepad, so you can wipe it and erase it. and now going completely digital, so just writing on the tablets. So yeah, trying to do something good. And when the Fitbit came in to my life, everything became so easy.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So, Annie, what is the USP of Fitbit according to you? Which is that feature of yours which you really like the most about the platform?
I think is easy to use. So there is no confusion. You open the app and you automatically know what's your exercise for today, what do you have to eat, or guidance what you need to eat. Any challenges is planned for you, done and dusted. So there is no overcomplicated stuff where you go in and you can't find it. And even other apps that I have used, you go back into the back office, which is your managing stuff, and it's just too many things.
Yeah,
And the features that they are there, but you don't never use it, or you don't need to use it, but you can't really get them off from the final price because it's a part
right.
of the package. So it was just confusing. So I tried pretty much every single app on the market, and yeah, it's just functionality, I think, and even the feedback I'm getting from my members is easy to use, and I think that's the unique selling point.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful, wonderful. So, Annie, like as you talked about your remote clients, set few clients of yours who are in a remote setup. So, what's your strategy to motivate them? Because you can't see them in person. You just have to, kind of, it's just a device through which you are kind of communicating with them, or through your application maybe. So, how do you motivate them?
So I think, as I said, going back to, because my strongest bit is talking with people.
Okay.
It's either in person or like I'm doing it with you now. So
Yeah.
people can see my personality, people can see how I talk and what do I do and how I motivate. So I do interactive videos, which I send them a video note or a voice note so they can sense a little bit about me. I do encourage them to follow me on social media so they can see what's going on and what I do and how I do it.
Right.
But with every single client, before we go anywhere, I always have to have a video chat, just so then they know that I'm a genuine person and I
Yeah.
know what I'm dealing with. And because I do loads of pre-recorded on-demand classes as well, so they constantly see my face anyway in the classes or the live one.
Right.
So the motivation is one of those, is keep on chasing people in a way of helping them.
Right.
And if they miss a workout, there's always a question, is there anything you want me to do? Was it a busy day? Or can we shorten your work? So it's all about by talking. So my motivation is my face.
Great.
For this.
Great, great, Annie. So, talking about your fitness inspiration, as I had mentioned in the first, in the first half of the interview. So, do you have any, kind of fitness quotation of yours, which is kind of close to your heart, or maybe a particular video, or maybe a podcast which you watch, which gives you inspiration?
So I always went by the quote, which is "Do it now because later becomes never." So when people says, oh, you know what, I'm a bit tired, or I've got something today, I'll do tomorrow. I'll do tomorrow. Prime example is my son. If I ask him to do something, I'll do it later. That later becomes tomorrow, tomorrow, next day, never. So I apply the same principle for every single client as well. Even if you do something, you've done it, and you will be proud of yourself. Because if you don't do it, or you push later, then becomes pretty much a failure in a way. But it could be a positive failure, because then you'll be motivated to do it again. Or this is where people go on a breaking point and they say, you know what, that's not for me, so I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So that would be my quote. But the video, I always used to refer when I used to train personal trainers and level 2 fitness instructors. I used to play a video, and I will share this with you.
Definitely.
And I'm pretty sure you do know, is the coach training the rugby team. And
Uh,
when he blindfold one of the players or the captain of the team, and he actually makes him to go above his limits. So it's just to show the the skills of the coaching that you can actually, you might say, I can't do it anymore, but your body might say you can't do it, but your mind can take you for. So I'll share this video with you. It's it's about 6 minutes one.
Wow.
But it's one of the best ones. It's been here for years.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So great to have you on board with us, Annie. Thank you so much for today's interview.
Thank you.